Alright guys, Zachary here with Backyard DIY. We're going to do some work on our new truck we just picked up. It needs a lot of work. So we're going to have some videos here. And it's freezing cold out here in Michigan. I hate it, so fans be happy that we're posting in the cold, because I am freezing. So here it is. Here's the truck. 7.3 2001. Needs some help. I already did one thing on it so far. It needed a thermostat. It was running and run it for 2 hours, and it was just barely letting out warm air. So a couple things that it's going to get. I already got the rear window because the glorious previous owner put cardboard in there. So that's one of the things it's going to get. I bought a rear window, all 3-piece, so that whole thing's going to get replaced. We're going to make a video on that. And some wiring issues. Neither of my cigarette lighters work, so we're going to have a video on that. The brakes are messed up, so we're going to make a video on the hydro booster and the shifter alignment. So there will be couple videos on this truck, so stay tuned. I will separate them so I can put titles on each one and you're not searching for something you don't care to watch. So stay tuned. Alright guys, Zachary here, Backyard DIY. We are going to be working on my hydro boost for my brakes. This is on the 01 F-250 with a 7.3. So pressing the brakes, it was weak and it would kick back at you every once in a while. So it's going to be the hydro booster. And I'm going to replace that. I got that from a wrecked vehicle. So I've got another one. So we're going to try that out and see if that fixes it. I feel like my master cylinder is still good, because whenever the hydro booster wants to work, I have really good brakes. And my pads and calipers and all that are still good. So we're going to show you how we're going to do that. We're going to, first step, underneath your dash, there's your brake booster, hydro booster, whatever you want to call it. It's going to come in through your firewall, and it's going to have the weird cotter pin. You're going to remove that cotter pin, and you're going to remove the 4 half-inch bolts around it, and then it will come loose underneath the hood. The hydro booster uses your power steering pump instead of a standard small passenger vehicle, I guess you'd call it. Uses your vacuum from your engine. This one uses your power steering pump, so that's why it's called a hydro booster, but it's still brake booster. It's still doing the same thing, if you want to be technical and call it a hydro booster. So here's the funky cotter pin. Just pushed it straight up and it comes off, and there it is. Trying to get a close shot for you, and you would just pull this, all your wires for your it sounded amazing, for your brake sensors and all that good stuff up in here. Alright, so again, this channel is to teach you so you don't do stuff that I do. Don't work on your vehicles in the cold. I've already said that once. But to get the pin, or the brake booster to come off of the pin like that, it had the wiring and all that controls connected to it, and I pried it too hard and that other side busted off. So I'm probably going to have to replace that. Not sure yet. It might still connect and work. But don't pry on that. Get some lube in there and try to get it out that way. So next I'm going to take out the 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3 behind this wiring, which is going to be fun, and then 4 behind the wiring up there. So I'm going to take those 4 out, and then we're going to go underneath the hood. So stand by. To get that last bolt. So all I did is just pulled it straight out, and surprisingly I didn't break anything. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do when you do the same job. Just pull it straight out, and then you have to just pull the wiring out to get to that last bolt or nut. So they're all out, and time to go underneath the hood. So I am going to say right now, and I know I'm going to get a million comments even though I'm saying it, yes, this has lots of oil underneath the hood. Yes, that is my plan to fix that next. So, feel free to be Captain Obvious and tell me again that there's oil on my turbo and blow-by and all this other fun stuff. And I will just say thank you for reminding me because I forgot. So, anyways, back to what we're doing. So this is obviously your brake fluid reservoir. Underneath it is going to be your master cylinder. Let's see if I can get a better angle on the other side. So, underneath that's going to be your master cylinder. There you go. The wires coming out, or hoses coming out, going out to your front and rear brakes. And then right behind it with the weird little canister, whatever you want to call it, I guess, is going to be your booster. And that's what we're taking off. So those 4 bolts on the inside is what held it on. So first I'm going to remove it just for ease of me getting to things. I'm going to remove this air cleaner, and I'm going to start with the hoses that are underneath there, but that air cleaner is coming off first. So stay tuned and we'll have some more fun. Alright guys, here's where we're at. So the master cylinder is what I just got off. You're going to need a she's over there snickering, I said got off. 9/16 deep well. I couldn't find one, so it was really fun to use a 9/16 wrench. But you're going to need a deep well socket, and there is only 2 bolts holding, or 2 nuts holding this on. One is right there, which I already removed, looking down from there, and then one is on this side, which I already removed. So these, I'm just going to call them stabilizers, would be your next step. They are just rubber grommets, and they slide back and forth on the tube. They were holding the master cylinder on, so you just obviously slide this all the way down, and then you pry it off, push it to the side. Same with this one, slide it all the way to the front and pry it off, push it to the side, out like that, whatever. Now you can take your master cylinder straight off, and I'm going to be reusing that, so I'm just going to let it sit there for now. Trying not to bend the lines too much because I don't want any of them to break. So here's what we're looking at. This is the back of the booster, or front, however you want to say it, however you want to look at it. And it's already loose because of the 4 bolts or nuts we took out from the inside. You're going to have a total of 3 lines. You've got one from your power steering pump, and I don't know the order, I'm just saying. One from your power steering pump, one going to your power steering pump as a return. And one as your overflow, which is this top I'm guessing it overflow or whatever, or too much pressure or whatever, and it just bleeds it right back into the power steering pump. So maybe just a return, I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I do. So we're gonna go grab the other one. Oh, also, if you are turning this with your 9/16 off and it looks like the stud is moving, it is. On the back of it is a 1/2 inch head. I had to use a 1/2 inch wrench while I was turning this one off. The other one came off just fine with no problems. So I'm gonna go get the other booster and then going to remove this line, remove this line, remove this line, and then the hydro booster will come right out. So stay tuned. Alright guys, here's where we're at. So, like I said, awesome part about having videos of me doing stuff before you do it is I get to do it wrong first. So, disconnect these lines before you remove those 4 nuts on the inside, because I had to go put those nuts back on so I could get these lines loose. I sprayed some penetrating oil and it still didn't work. I had to remove them in a funky pattern because I'm getting it from a used wrecked truck. So one side he had the lines still on, and then the other side there's absolutely nothing. So that's why I'm removing it that way. I'm assuming when you buy a brand new one, I'm assuming none of the lines will come on it, so you're gonna have to remove the lines straight from the booster. So that and that. For me, I had to remove that one and then this one out here. And then obviously the return line, which leaked pretty good, so I just pushed it up there somewhere. So yeah, like I said, make sure you leave the lines inside, or the nuts inside, until you break those lines loose, all the way loose, and then you can get those out. Here's my other one, other booster, and I'm going to slide that gizmo back in there, and then both of these leak once you take them out. Oh, it looks like it stopped now. So anyway, I'll try to move that out of the way so I can get the new one in, but this one was leaking pretty good. Oh, looks like that stopped too. So this should just come right out right now. Should just be able to pull it out. Alright, there we go. Here's a one-handed operation. There we go. There's the old one. There's our hole going into our cabin. And we'll go ahead and put our new one in that hole and see where that goes. See if we can mess something else up to let you know how to do it the right way. So stay tuned like always. Alright guys, got this back in there, and I was thinking with my head this time, and I tightened all 4 nuts on the inside first. Then I put the master cylinder back on with these 2 nuts. These are 13 millimeter, I believe. No, 9/16 on both sides to tighten that down. Got that back tight, and put these 2 lines back on. These here, and then put the return, I'm guessing, because it's the only one that's a soft line. Put the return line back on. I've got 1 sensor I removed just for ease of mobility, I guess you would call it. So I just got to feed this underneath here, and then plug it in, plug it in, plug it in, right there. There you go, clicked in, that's back in, and then this fuse, I just moved this little box, I just moved it out of my way. I just needed a screwdriver to push into the little pin Alright, and then that was just for room, is the only reason I moved that. So you don't need to remove that, but it made it way easier, more room. So, anyway, got that all back on. I'm going to put my air cleaner back on, and I'm going to start it up and see what happens. I'm guessing my power steering fluid's going to be low, so I'm going to have to refill that as well. It's up to the top right now, but once it fills that new-ish, brand new-ish booster, it's going to go down, I'm sure. So, listen, I know you guys are going to be the big diesel mechanics and the backyard mechanics, I guess you'd call it, like I am, are going to be all over this leaky oil. So, here's where I'm asking you, and we are so happy to have our 1,000 subscribers. We're over that now. Absolutely crazy. When we started this channel years ago, we had no plans or intentions of ever getting this big, just helping people out. So, I've said that enough time on enough videos. But here I am imploring you, if you know what to look for or what to do, let me know what to look for with this oil leak. What's the next thing I should do? I know there's a turbo return line, and I know there's the crankcase ventilation. There's a couple things. Let me know what you think I should look for. Give me some hints, tips, and ideas, and I will post videos as I check out what different things you say. But I know there's oil in the valley, and I'm traditionally a mechanic on gas, so I mean, it's pretty wet down there in my valley, is what I know it's called. And the inside of my turbo inlet is pretty wet with oil, and back there is pretty wet with oil. So, like I said, if you have an idea, feel free to shoot it. I will try it. I will figure out what is wrong, and I will try to see if your idea fixes it, and I will post a video of it letting you know if it fixed it or not. I'm getting a couple, probably the size of $1 oil after sitting for a week on the ground. So that's not bad. I've driven it a couple times and you don't notice it in parking lots or anything like that, but sitting in my driveway for a week, it's probably about the size of $1. So it's not that bad of a leak in my eyes. I don't know, maybe that's horrible, maybe it's going to blow up. You let me know. So, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you have the little parentheses on both sides of the subscribe button, or I'm sorry, the bell for the subscribe. It will let you know when I post new videos, and I'm going to try to start posting more videos more often, especially now that I have this project chuck to work on. It's way more of a project than I knew it was going to be. So, click the like button. Have a good day. Bye.